Welcome explorers to the Fantasy Mapper. Today we are heading south of the Neck to explore the unique and ancient geology of southern Westeros, from the towering mountains of the Moon in the Vale to the Golden Hills in the Westerlands and the rugged mountains of Dorne. Join me as we uncover some surprising geological connections across these regions. First, let's take a look at the mountains of the Moon in the Vale and the mineral-rich highlands surrounding Casterly Rock in the Westerlands. These ranges may seem distant, but they could actually share a deep geological connection. Geologists in our world know that mountain ranges often form from tectonic collisions, creating long stretches of elevated land called orogenic belts, and in Westeros, a similar tectonic event may have formed a vast, ancient mountain chain stretching from the Vale through to the Westerlands. Picture Westeros millions of years ago, with immense tectonic forces reshaping the continents as two land masses collided, pushing massive sections of rock upward to form towering mountains. The continental collision, a process seen on Earth in places like the Himalayas, is one of the most powerful geological forces, where tectonic plates converge, crumpling and thrusting rock layers upwards and creating formidable mountain ranges. If something similar occurred in Westeros, it could have created a continuous range stretching from the mountains of the Moon in the east to the mineral-rich hills of the Westerlands in the west. Just as the Indian subcontinent's collision with Asia formed the Himalayas, these ranges in Westeros may be remnants of an ancient continental-spanning collision, hinting a shared geological origin. Over time, however, powerful forces like glacial erosion could have carved a wide valley between these regions, leaving behind only remnants of the once vast mountain belt. Glacial erosion is a transformative process. As glaciers advance and retreat, they carve deep into the rock, creating wide, fertile valleys and separating once connected mountains. Over millennia, this could have transformed a single mountain chain into the mountains of the Moon in the Vale and the minerally rich hills of the Westerlands we see today. The Westerlands are famous for one thing: gold. The legendary mines beneath Casterly Rock have kept House Lannister among the wealthiest in Westeros. But how did these gold deposits form in the first place? One possibility is that they are hydrothermal vein deposits, a type of low deposit. In this process, hot, mineral-rich water flows through the deep fractures in the Earth's crust. As it cools, minerals, including gold, are deposited along the veins, forming concentrated bands that can be mined. This would create rich pockets of gold that the Lannisters could extract with relative ease, especially where tectonic activity fractured the rock. But there's another possibility: placer deposits. When erosion from weather or rivers wears down gold-bearing rocks, gold particles are transported by water, settling into riverbeds and low-lying areas. This process often leaves the gold scattered in sediments rather than solid veins, but it requires only simple tools to pan or sift it from the sand and gravel. Given the medieval-level technology in Westeros, placer deposits might seem more accessible, as these could be mined with basic techniques. However, the legend and wealth of the Lannisters imply richer, deeper sources, so hydrothermal veins could be a more likely explanation for the massive deposits beneath Casterly Rock. Now, let's travel south to the Red Mountains of Dorne, a region with strikingly different geology. These rugged mountains are some of the oldest in Westeros and have a distinctive red coloring. This color isn't just for show, it's likely due to iron oxide, the same compound that makes Earth's new red sandstone's formation red. Over millions of years, iron-rich rocks weather and oxidize, forming layers of red sandstone. These processes create the iconic red hue seen in Dorne's mountains. Given the dry climate of Dorne, these mountains likely weather more slowly, preserving the iron-rich coloring we see today. But how did these mountains form in the first place? It is possible they are the remains of an ancient orogeny, one that happened long before the more recent mountain building events in the Vale or the Westerlands. Like the Scottish Highlands or Appalachian Mountains, these ranges could be the remnants of an even older, once massive, mountain range. With time and erosion, these towering peaks were reduced to the rugged red remnants we see today, and Dorne's dry, arid climate has preserved these iron-rich hills, giving the region its unique desert-like appearance. In the middle of these formidable mountain ranges, we find the Ridge. Here are the most fertile lands in all Westeros. Known as the breadbasket of the realm, the Ridge is covered in vast fields of golden wheat, rich vineyards, and fruitful orchards. But what gives the Ridge its abundant fertility? It may be rooted in the region's unique geology, a soil type known as loess. Loess deposits are fine, wind-blown sediments that often accumulate in fertile plains around the world, like the Argentinian Pampas or China's Central Plain. These soils are full of essential minerals like calcium, potassium and magnesium, offering a perfect balance for robust plant growth. The rich productivity, from the grain fields to the arbor's famous wines, suggests that it could be based on similar loess-rich soil. What's fascinating is that loess deposits form downwind of glacial plains or mountain regions. The ridge may have developed from ancient glacial winds sweeping down from the hill and mountains to the north, depositing layers of silt that accumulated over millennia, creating soils ideal for agriculture. Another benefit of loess soils is their natural drainage, a characteristic essential for diverse crops. This could explain why the ridge can produce such a wide array of food, from grains to grapes that can feed nearly all of Westeros. In Earth history, loess regions have supported human civilization for thousands of years, so it makes sense that the ridge, with its rich soil and favorite climate, would be at the center of agriculture, wealth and power in Westeros. So, from the mineral-rich highlands of the Westerlands to the ancient Red Mountains of Dorne, southern Westeros is a land shaped by tectonic forces, erosion and mineral wealth. Each region tells a story of its geological past, connecting Westeros in ways that go far deeper than political lines on a map. What other secrets could be hiding in the geology of Westeros? If you are fascinated by the hidden connections between fantasy and real-world science, make sure to subscribe and join me here at the Fantasy Mapper. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the world beneath the fantasy.